Well, we started Jobbie.ca because before we came to Canada, I actually spent several years working as a freelancer. And I realized that you don't have to have a formal job to earn a living. In fact, you can actually earn more money and work flexible hours and be there for your kids and all that kind of thing when you're working as a self-employed person. And sites like Jobbie that connect service providers with customers who need their services actually just make it easier, especially for smaller businesses and for solo entrepreneurs and that kind of thing. So that's why we built it, because we thought, it's another option for Canadians who are looking for perhaps a way to work from home or a way to earn some extra money using their existing skills, talents, and abilities. Jobbie.ca actually works on a model known as reverse bidding that was popularized by sites like Upwork and Freelancer and that kind of thing. Except instead of looking to hire a programmer from somewhere on the other side of the planet, you're looking to hire a local service provider who offers a real-world service in your area. So we have things like plumbers and bookkeepers and childcare and that kind of thing are categories on the site. But customers would create a quote request, which includes a budget and a timeline and details of what they're looking for, and if necessary, pictures and videos and that kind of thing. And then all the service providers that are in the area that offer that kind of service would be able to quote on that service. They'd also be able to ask the buyer questions if they need to about the work that they need done. And it's also for fixed price as well as hourly jobs. So if a customer doesn't know exactly how long they would need somebody to work for, they could set their budget as an hourly rate range and find service providers who are willing to offer their services in that range. So it works quite nicely for both service providers and customers, because customers get exactly what they're looking for, and service providers will know instantly if it's something that's within their usual capabilities. So if it's too small and it's not going to be something they're competitive on, they can just decide not to quote on that. Or if it's too big and it's something that a smaller contractor or service provider can't finance or doesn't have the capacity to do, they'd know immediately and they would move on to the next quote and get their offer on that. So yeah, it's quite nice for customers and for service providers in that way, because it's very much upfront. But the one thing we do have is all the bids on the site are sealed, all the offers and quotes. So service providers don't get to see each other's price, so you don't have any kind of undercutting and that kind of thing going on. It'll be completely whatever your best price is for the job, which again, everybody wins. Well, Jobbie.ca has a variety of different kinds of jobs for different kinds of service providers. Again, it's built for local service providers though, so it's things that would be done in your city by someone who is local. Things like dog walking or childcare or bookkeeping or auto detailing or fence repair or roofing, that kind of thing. We do have dozens of different categories, and we actually do have a current categories page on the site that you can have a look at. And if you see something there that we've missed or that you think we should add, you can send us an email and we'll consider it, and if necessary we'll add it to the site. There are also fixed price and hourly jobs. So again, if you don't have a fixed budget range, that you're just looking for a price for a service for a few hours a week or something like that, you can post a job that way. There are also different budget ranges, starting at a few dollars per hour and going quite high, as well as for micro projects from $0 to a couple of $100 and then into the thousands and more. And we've also got an option for barter, which is quite nice. So if you're a web designer but you're looking for someone to fix your car, you could offer to upgrade somebody's website in return for the car repair, and you could work something out with a service provider that way. So that's an option that you don't get on a lot of other sites, which is again a nice thing, especially these days when everybody's looking for a deal. So Jobbie.ca is completely free for customers to use to post their service requests. There are a few upgrades if you want somebody to sign an NDA, or if you want to feature your job and put it at the top of the list and that kind of thing. There are small fees attached to that, but to post your average quote, there's no cost and there's no monthly fee and there's no hidden charges anywhere along the way. We also don't charge commissions, and we don't process payments. So you would still pay your service provider direct outside of the platform. And as for service providers, there's currently a 3-month free trial where they can sign up and see how it all works while we get things going. And then paid packages start at $10 a month. Again, no fees, no commissions, no payment processing and that kind of thing. We know people are struggling right now and they need to find new ways to earn money, and we want to be the best and cheapest and most affordable option for those people who need to find a new way to earn a living. Well, there's actually several reasons that a service provider or a customer might want to use Jobbie.ca instead of something like social media or classified ads and that kind of thing. The one is that there's a mutual reviews and rating system. So if you hire somebody through the site, even though you're not paying them on the site, you can both come back to the site afterwards and leave each other a rating and review so that other people can see how they performed and that kind of thing. We do also have a help ticket system. So if something goes very horribly wrong, although we don't process payments, so we can't do anything about that, if somebody has, let's say, not completed a job, or a customer hasn't paid on time or at all and that kind of thing, you can let us know and we'll contact the customer to find out what their side of the story is. But if we find that they've definitely sort of, broken trust, let's say, there are things we can do like suspending their account or terminating their account on the site and that kind of thing. So it's a little bit more recourse than you would have on a site like a classified site or social media, where you're kind of just trusting that people are going to do what they say. And I think we've all seen and lived the horror stories of that, where things just go horribly wrong and there's literally nothing you can do about it. So we think that that's going to be a factor for people. It's always nice to know that there's somewhere where if somebody's done a really stellar job, you can tell the world about how great they are. And it's good for service providers too, because the ones that are delivering great service, it's sort of a digital word of mouth, which can help with their marketing and that kind of thing. Well, Jobbie.ca is actually open to service providers of all sizes. So anybody from a single person who has an individual business where they offer a particular service to their customers, or even if they have an existing job and they do it as a side hustle, to micro businesses, small businesses, and even larger businesses. We don't restrict the platform to a specific kind of service provider. We think that there's value to be offered by service providers of all sizes, particularly in smaller and lower cost jobs where maybe a larger company wouldn't have the time to do it or wouldn't be inclined to quote on it because they can't compete with a smaller company and that kind of thing. And having been in construction for such a long time, I know that happens quite often where a customer has a small budget and they struggle to find a bigger company to do the job for them. So this will give you the option of finding a smaller service provider who's maybe more willing to do a smaller job for you. Well, Jobbie.ca is actually built for customers of all sizes as well. We figured that it would be helpful for homeowners or parents or individual people who are looking for services for their house or childcare or tutoring or something like that, and they want to find out what's available in their local area without making a million phone calls and emailing a million more people. But we also thought it would be useful for people who work in procurement for property management companies, or as realtors who are looking for services to upgrade a property that they're looking to sell, or even bigger contractors who are looking for smaller service providers to work on a bigger contract that they're working on. It just gives everybody another option to get quotes quickly and easily from a variety of contractors, see what's out there, and communicate with them in an easy and secure sort of forum. So yeah, I mean, anybody can be, as long as you're in Canada, and since the platform does work throughout Canada, if you want to give it a try and post a project and see what comes of it. We do also cross-promote all the jobs that are posted on the site. So we do post it on social media and in various other places, so that if there's anybody on those platforms that might be interested in giving you a price, they would know about it and be able to give you a quote. So we actually do a lot of the work for you. Well, we actually created Jobbie.ca before COVID-19 hit Canada. We were busy launching it in February and March when everything sort of kind of came to a grinding halt for everyone. So we put it on the shelf for a while, but then we realized that there's actually a lot of people now who might need something like this. People who have either had their hours cut or they don't have a job at the moment, but they have marketable skills, hobbies, and talents that they could offer to customers who are looking for services in the area. So yeah, and the other nice thing about Jobbie.ca in a COVID-19 world is that it's actually kind of designed for social distancing. I mean, most of the quoting process can take place online with videos and photos and drawings and descriptions and that kind of thing. Everything happens by email and there's push notifications, so you'll see when there's a new message about a project of yours or a quote that you've sent out to someone and that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of the face-to-face aspect out of quoting and communicating with each other, even to the point where you can continue to use the platform for communications during a project. So instead of phone calls and whatever, you can upload it to the project file on the site, which also is nice. If something does go wrong, you have a record of everything that's been said. So yeah, we didn't intend to build Jobbie to be a social distancing friendly option, but it turns out that it actually kind of is, which is nice for everybody involved.